Good evening. We'll get started. First, go over something real fast. Cell phone reminder. If you would, make sure your cell phone's off. I've had it happen once. I learned from it, I hope. And also, there's a $100 fine payable to Chuck Knight if your phone does ring. But I'll tell you this though. Feel free to take photos and everything like that. We just ask that you're courteous to others trying to do the same and try to leave the aisles open. This time we'd ask you to please stand as the members of Hampton Roads Fire Academy Class 42 enter the auditorium. You may be seated. As I look around, we have a number of special guests with us today, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize them. I want to call your name. You just stand real quickly, raise your hand, wave, whatever you feel appropriate. Vice Mayor Leroy Bennett. Councilmember Shelley Butler Barlow, Councilmember Roger Fawcett, City Manager Al Moore, City Attorney William Hutchings, Clerk of Court Randy Carter, you'll see him again later, Commonwealth's Attorney Naranda Please, Police Chief Alfred Chandler, Human Resource Director Jessica Stallings, Interim, sorry, messed that one up. Media Community Relations, Interim Jennifer Moore, Interim Director. Chesapeake Fire Deputy Chief Sam Giuliano. Good evening. On behalf of the men and women of Suffolk Fire and Rescue, I welcome each of you to the graduation class of Class 42 at Hampton Roads Fire Academy, Drakes Jakes. I'm Battalion Chief Chuck Knight. I will serve as your Master of Ceremonies this evening. We're here to recognize the achievements of 31 men and women who worked very hard, mentally and physically, for the past year to achieve the title of firefighter. Their journey has just begun, and they have a lot more to learn and experience to gain. Congratulations to Class 42 on your achievement. More importantly, congratulations on being part of the greatest profession there is, the fire service, as well as being a member of Suffolk Fire and Rescue. This time I'd ask you to please stand for the presentation of colors by the Suffolk Department of Fire and Rescue's Honor Guard, followed by the National Anthem performed by Fire Medic Morgan Reed.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we won were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Morgan. You may be seated. We have some more distinguished guests. If you're current or previous military, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service. And if you're current or previous fire service member, will you please stand and be recognized? Should be a lot of you. Thank you for your service as well. Now, firefighter Josh Baker from Suffolk Fire and Rescue will provide the invocation.
Good evening, everyone. As we sit here, this is kind of a humble time, with Chaplain Lancaster, who was previously the chaplain, who has now passed away. And before I came here, we kind of reached out to some of his family and asking some of his guiding words before we got here. And I'd like to share a small story that he was famous for telling. He said that he had a father who had a son that was constantly just always bouncing off the wall. So he got smart and he tore up a world map into little teeny pieces and he gave it back to his son. He said, when you get the world map put back together, he said, you come back and see me. So a couple minutes later, kid comes back and the world map's completely put back together. And he looked at his son, he said, how in the world did you get that done so quick? His son said, well, Dad, there's a man on the back of the map. He said, I just put the man back together. And I guess the moral of the story is, if you put the man back together, you'll put that world back together. So if we could bow our heads now. Dear Lord, the work of a firefighter and emergency medical technician is both dangerous and hard, so we ask that you continue to keep our new brothers and sisters safe. Guard them from all harm. We thank you for the sacrifices that they will make for our community, for the hours of training they have put in, and for the missed family events and meals and the sleepless nights they will face. We know that their work takes them away from their families, so we ask, Lord, that you bless their families as they wait for their loved one's safe return. Lord, we thank you tonight for those who have served Suffolk Fire and Rescue and the community. We pray your blessings upon those who are retired and those who are ill, and we also remember those who are no longer with us. May their stories and memories continue to spark fire in these new recruits. Almighty God, we ask that you bless all who serve with courage, perseverance, and determination. Help us in the fire service to best use those gifts to meet the needs we encounter, especially those needs of the public we serve. So Lord, I ask that you watch over them and keep them safe as they risk their lives to help others. Give them the strength they need for all that they will face, and fill their heart with your peace. Guide us and protect us as we continue to do your work. Empower us to do your will at all times. In the name of all that is good and noble, honest and true. Lord, we thank you, and in your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Josh. All right, before we get to Chief Araki's remarks, I had a couple. Anytime you're in a position to talk to a group of new recruits, you should take advantage of that. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit of advice, some pointers to carry on with you. I wish y'all were sitting over here. I don't like y'all made that far over, but you can hear me anyway. And what I'm going to tell you is items I'm going to touch on are all important. In no particular order. It's just at random. As I was messing around the last couple of days, I had a few things I jotted down. And just take it to heart. Again, no particular order, just the orders I was thinking about them in the last few days. Don't be lazy and take advantage of every opportunity that you can. And it's easy to go into the fire station and just, depends on what station you are. Each station is a little bit, some are busier than others and things like that. But don't be lazy to yourself, and don't be lazy to your career and the profession. You chose this profession for whatever reason it was. Hopefully, you'll continue to build on that. And take advantage of every opportunity to confront you when it arises. And don't be in a hurry. This is something I see a lot. Don't be in a hurry to move up the ladder. Enjoy each rank and learn that rank and master that art before you move to the next one. I call it chasing badges. There are people in this fire service, this fire department even, that's what they do. They chase a badge. It's not about that. It's being the best you can be at whatever level you are. And when you retire from here, it's not about how many bugles you have. It's about what you did to make this fire department better, how you served the citizens, and the pride that you put into doing that. And you need to remember that. Because there are guys right now that their rank is firefighter, master firefighter, senior firefighter. But they have given 100% to this fire department, this organization, and the citizens of Suffolk, and the ones that travel through it. At the end of their career, they're judged on that. Not because they didn't make lieutenant or captain, battalion chief, or whatever. Everybody can't be the fire chief. There's only one. There's only a couple of deputies. So, don't be that person. Be the one that you want to be the best you can be at whatever rank you are. Enjoy that, embrace it, and build upon that. And don't try to keep up with your fellow recruits. I see that too. We all have different backgrounds and we learn at different paces. So if you see a fellow recruit that may be driving apparatus sooner than you are, don't worry about that. Just, again, be the best you can be and learn at your pace. And we're going to get you there. So don't look at the guy beside you or the girl beside you and think that they're getting an opportunity you're not getting, because you're going to get there. But there are other factors into it. And that leads me to I'll get to that in a minute, actually. That's good for you to say to the end. And this is just my pet peeve here. If you pass a street on the way to your firehouse and you don't know that street, if a call comes out on it, I don't think you take your job seriously. Yes, we have cell phones, we have all kinds of maps and the computers on apparatus, but that's just taking pride and being observant. Don't just ride to work that morning. Ride to work, look at the streets, learn them, the hydrants, all that stuff's important. Get your head in that map book. Again, it sounds trivial to some of the audience maybe, but the firefighters here know what I'm talking about, and there's merit to that. And learn from the experienced firefighters. It's a wealth of knowledge in the fire service in general, but in Suffolk Fire and Rescue. You got guys been here 25, 30 years, some 35 years. And, you know, you can learn a lot from those people. So dig into their brain. Take advantage of this is what I'm pushing. Again, I mentioned earlier, it's the greatest profession there is. That's what it is. Take advantage of that. There aren't many professions, especially uniform professions, that every time you encounter or interact with someone, when we leave them or leave that incident, it's usually a positive experience for them. If, you know, Chief Rocky and I were talking the other day, we go to house fires, and unfortunately, they're devastating, obviously. But if you can save one or two items, you're in there overhauling or whatever, don't just throw stuff around. That's somebody's property. Treat it like your own, or maybe better than your own, it all depends. But treat it like it's your own. If you save one little thing, a picture, a Bible, whatever it may be, a family heirloom, that could really change that person or that family's day, make it better, and help them with the healing process. So remember those things. Another thing, you know, this is a way of life, the fire services. It's not just about coming to work 10 days a month, maybe 12 right now, but 10 days a month and going home. It's a way of life, and you need to embrace that. And part of that is being loyal to the organization, but equally important to the people that make the organization. You know, I've been to funerals, Chief Adams, of all of us have been to funerals of somebody I didn't even know who they were. But because they either served in the fire department prior to me coming on board, or they were a family member of somebody's, we go to it. And I don't see that as much as I used to. We're growing, but let's work on getting that back. We can say things have changed, but we can change it back. And it starts with you all. So you can be the class that starts pushing that camaraderie and bringing everybody back together. We still have it, but I do see a few missing links that we can work on. It's easy to say that's just the way things are, but hey, let's change it. So I challenge you to change it. That's something funny. We had rehearsal the other day, and I don't know who the gentleman is, but I kind of felt bad after I did it. They were kind of dressed relaxed the other day doing their thing, and he had his hat on backwards. I just don't like it, but it didn't bother me that much. I don't like it a little bit. It's not really a big deal. It used to be a big deal, but things have changed. But I said something to him, and what I respect about him is as he was walking by, I actually told the training division, I said, you need to add a day to the training academy to teach people how to wear their hat correctly. And, you know, it's kind of a joke, but it's a little bit of merit to that also. But I respect the gentleman because he turned his hat around, went and sat down. He didn't have any negative expression or didn't say anything. You know, he took it like a young gentleman and moved on, and that's what you got to do. Take your licks and move on and keep going, keep pushing forward. Lastly, Chief Rocky, we'll get to you now. I know y'all getting tired. Let's throw a rope around me, but, you know, and some people are going to view this differently than I do, but I'm going to say it anyway, that you're going to hear officers tell you that you're number one. You're not. You're a very close second. And the reason I say that is when you agree to join this profession, you agree to put your life on the line to save others and your brothers and sisters. And you're going to be held to that. And you've got to understand that is very serious. Very serious. So in doing that, that's why I say the firefighters are number two, because the citizens aren't trained. You're coming out of a recruit academy, been in there a year. Average citizen doesn't get that. They don't get a $5,000 breathing apparatus, $2,000 worth of turnout gear. They don't have the tools you have. They don't ride on I don't know if I should say the price, an expensive fire truck to a call. They are expensive, but we don't set the price. But, you know, so that's why I say you're a close second, because you've agreed to do that. And that shouldn't be taken lightly. And lastly, that leads to the family. You know, that's what I'm telling them is also telling you, you know, that's what these men and women have signed up for. And part of that is they have to be dedicated to this department and this profession. So they're going to miss holidays, birthdays, Father's Day. Yeah, Father's Day and Mother's Day is always on Sunday, right? Yep. Well, you may have to celebrate it on Saturday because your loved one may be working that day. And that's a sacrifice that they've agreed to. And you as their family, you have to understand that, encourage it and support it. There'll be other days you can celebrate certain events, but they're going to work some Christmases. They're going to work Thanksgiving. You can come see them at the firehouse. Anyway, that's one thing, see if y'all listen. Can y'all tell me where Kings Fork Road is? Where is it? Point to it. All right. See, you already learned it. Okay. Where are we? Chief Baraka. Okay. This time, we ask Fire Chief Michael Baraka to come forward and provide his opening remarks. Take my paper. Thank you.
I don't want to mess with this microphone. Chief Knight, thank you so much. I want to say, Morgan, thank you, and Josh, thank you. It's a lot of pride and honor to come up here and sing the national anthem and let us pray. Very well done, both of you, and I appreciate you coming up. Tonight is a celebration, guys. Vice Mayor, Mayor Duman's not with us, Vice Mayor and members of council, elected officials, Mr. Moore, city leaders, distinguished guests. It's my honor to present to you our 31 graduates of HRFA Class 42. We're gathered here to celebrate not only the graduates of Class 42, but everyone who, think about this, hired, trained, educated, supported, cared for, mentored, gave a shoulder to cry on. We're here to honor everybody that did that as well, because this 12-month academy was grueling. It was grueling for not only the members of 42, family, the firefighters and officers who had to work many hours, certainly in overtime time, to see this day. So this day is truly a celebration. I want to take this opportunity to ask, if you're from HR, if you had anything to do with onboarding, if you did background investigations, if you trained, if you went to the academy, was a field training instructor, an instructor, please stand so that we can give you a round of applause for everything you've done for our recruits here. There we go. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, training staff. Thank you. I know you can't see the guys in the back. There's about 15 people standing up back there. Thank you. And now, without family and friends, 31 loved ones would not be able to be here. We know that. So if you're a family member, a friend, a support mechanism, wife, husband, partner, please stand up so that they can say thank you to you. Academy, stand up and let's say thank you to your family and friends. For the graduating class of Class 42, I remember the day you came through the door with HR and I said, what have we got ourselves into? But tonight is a celebration because the transformations occurred. You guys, when you walked in, I know I was talking to the city manager, it was so proud for all of us up here to see you, to see the transformation that occurred, become a great firefighter. You're now in the rare company of being part of a profession that asks you to give of yourself above others. You'll be asked to give yourself so that others may live, because firefighters serve without judgment and without hesitation. To do this, you must be dedicated to the craft of firefighting in quality pre-hospital or emergency medical care. At this time, I'd like to turn the stage over to our city manager, Mr. Al Moore. I'd like to thank Chief Dickens, Chief Adams, and everybody in Fire Headquarters for supporting Class 42 and the instructors. God bless the graduates of Class 42 and their family and friends. So the hardest part about being the fire chief to a city manager who's an engineer is he knows fire flow, he knows pump discharge pressure, he knows nozzles, hose, appliances, elevation, pressure loss. So at this point, we have a city manager, but we have a city manager who understands the fire service. So with great honor, I invite Mr. Al Moore to come up and do some work. Thank you.
Good evening. I found out why going third is tough, because after Battalion Chief Knight, there's nothing left to say. But I would like to personally welcome Class of 42, the families and friends who have gathered here this evening for this special event. Tonight is a major milestone for 31 individuals of Class of 42. Who will be officially pinned this evening, and that's a major event in your life. It's an honor for me to be with you on this special occasion, and as you take your next career step. I understand that after 6 months of EMS training, 5 months of fire training, you will become elite firefighters for Suffolk Fire and Rescue, but you will also serve in the greatest city in the Hampton Roads region. Due to the size of your class, it was divided into 2 groups, Alpha and Bravo, and this allowed our staff in the back to better give you hands-on training. This is a very large class. One thing I keep getting hung up onto, it's a class of 42. Now, I graduated in 76, and I was a class of 76, but you guys look younger than me. I'm still trying to do the math on that as an engineer and see how that worked out. But it's also, you've achieved a lot of skills, both mentally and physically, through your testing requirements to achieve an emergency medical technician level and also firefighter certification to be here tonight. The recruits sitting before you tonight have made the sacrifice, commitment, and willingness to be part of the fire service tradition that has expanded over 200 years. I would like to say to you, class of 42, and those ahead of me have already mentioned this, but last week we had an event for our city staff, those who have served 20 years up to 47 years with the city of Suffolk. In that time period, there was over 2,000 years of service. It's pretty amazing when you look at it. There's 93 staff members who were involved in that. Over 40, to my quick count, were fire and rescue. Don't be afraid to ask the questions and take advantage of that experience and dedication. It'll be very important to you as you move through your career to have that knowledge, to gain that knowledge from these individuals. You are what I would call the next wave of Suffolk Fire and Rescue. So make me proud and honored, or I am proud, excuse me, don't make me proud, I am proud, and honored to welcome you to the Suffolk Fire and Rescue, but also as an employee of the city of Suffolk. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Moore and Chief Baraki. Now it's time for the class presidents, plural, remarks. We'd ask Dominic Janito and Christopher Heater to come forward.
Good evening and welcome, chiefs, distinguished guests, and families. My name is Chris Heater, and I am the president of 42 Alpha. Well, boys, today is the day we never thought was going to happen, but tonight we can finally say we made it. To today, that is, because we all know the truth, according to Instructor Matson. To say it has been an adventure would be an understatement. From the worm to rescue breathing to wondering if Instructor Matson shaved his head the night before or not. Early on, the instructors told us, if you're going to be dumb, then you're going to be strong. Well, tonight, I'm here to tell you that Alpha is a very strong group. We always seem to just do things a little different. Early on, we adopted the motto, if we get beat, we get beat. While every day over the last 55 weeks was always dynamic, there was always a few things we knew were consistent. Heretic was going to show us his trail cams, and he was going to tell us about hunting and fishing, although he never shot or caught anything. Gibson was most definitely going to tell us that his shoulder hurt. CFD instructor Greg Sellers was going to find Wes and ask him something about Smithfield or something random that always put Wes on the spot. And every time you stepped out, you had to make sure Hernandez was not watching you as he was ready to make his next meme. While we learned a lot over the last 55 weeks, there was a few things we mastered this academy. Push-ups and searching for missing par tags seemed to be our finesse. I can proudly say I wouldn't have wanted to do this 55 weeks of dynamic chaos with any other group. A year ago, we all sat in the classroom, a group of strangers, and tonight we sit here a well-oiled, dysfunctional family. But on a serious note, as our time as recruits comes to an end, our careers as firefighters is just beginning. We must always remember to keep pushing ourselves past our limits and to never stop learning. Once you stop learning, then it is probably time to hang up your helmet. Always keep striving to be the best. In closing, Fuga, you just keep trying. And y'all remember, you just haven't made it yet. Stay motivated and keep learning. And always remember, nozzle, 50-foot coupling, and you know the rest. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I had the privilege of serving as class president for the Bravo Group of Suffolk Fire and Rescue, HERF Academy 42. On behalf of all 31 of us recruits, I'd first like to say thank you to the families who support us through this year-long academy. I understand that not only the recruits, but every member of this training staff and men and women from the floor has worked tirelessly to bring us to this academy, and has come at the expense of family time with children, spouses, and friends. I would especially like to thank this training staff, Chief Ratliff, Lieutenant Drake, Lieutenant Coltrane, and instructors Belair, Dodson, Matson, Riddick, and Barrett. As recruits, we will never know the headaches that went into planning and executing all the hundreds of hours of training evolutions and classroom instruction throughout the year. We have been pushed far beyond what we have expected, both physically and mentally, but you as a training staff have shown tough love when necessary and praise and encouragement when appropriate. Despite all the colorful and imaginative ways you have motivated us to get here, the care and interest in our well-being and success has been paramount. We appreciate the investment and sacrifices you have made to mold us into Suffolk firefighters. And to my wife, Jennifer, I wouldn't have made it without you. Thank you. Finally, I would like to address my classmates one final time. I've enjoyed the time we have spent together, and I'm proud to be a part of this group of new Suffolk firefighters. I would like to leave you now with a challenge. As we depart the academy and go out to our new assignments, I challenge every member of this class to be a leader. I understand we are new, we are fresh in this journey, but we can still be leaders. Leaders in this department. Because leadership is not dependent on rank, leadership is dependent upon attitude. As a new firefighter, we can lead with a positive attitude when the tones drop at 3 a.m. for a sick call. We can lead with initiative and eagerness to master our trade instead of falling to complacency. As a rookie, we can lead by establishing and upholding the standard of excellence in all that we do, from station chores to fire ground procedures. We may be years off from holding a command position within this department, but we can lead now, and we should lead now, because one day we will be in command, and leadership is more comfortable when it has been practiced and not thrust upon you. The first rule of leadership is to actually care. The second is to remember it isn't about you. Be humble. The third is to put actions behind the words we use. Invest. Do your job. Treat people right. Give all-out effort. Have an all-in attitude. I'd like to leave you with a quote from Vince Lombardi. I've never known a man worth his salt who in the long run, deep down in his heart, didn't appreciate the grind, the discipline. I firmly believe that any man's finest hour, the greatest fulfillment to all he holds dear, is the moment when he has worked his heart out in a good cause and lies exhausted on the battlefield. Class 42, I'm damn proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. At this time, I'd I'd like to bring attention to an excerpt in your program titled Trent Stone. Trent was slated to start the fire academy with this group on October the 7th, 2021. Unfortunately, he was involved in a tragic accident prior to the start of this academy. He passed away on October 19th, 2021. The recruits and staff dedicated this academy in his memory. We have a helmet. This helmet went with us everywhere we went. It was Stone's helmet. His memory went with us everywhere, and he looked over us every day. I did not personally know this young man, but with everything I've come to know about him, he was a very smart young man and very physically fit. There's no doubt in my mind that he would be sitting here tonight if it weren't for that tragic event. At this time, I'd like to ask Trent's family to come forward to accept his helmet and a shadow box in honor of his memory. Thank you. Good job. In addition to the dedication of this academy to Trent Stone, at the beginning of the academy, the recruits and the academy staff each chose a firefighter that lost their life on 9/11 to honor what their time spent during the fire academy. When the training was tough, the days were long, recruits and staff thought they had nothing left to give. They could always fall back on the firefighters they were honoring, as well as Trent Stone. At this time, I'd like to take a moment of silence to remember not only the members that were lost, not only the members that this class selected to honor, but all members that were lost on 9/11 from the FDNY. Thank you. Okay. Sit back in your seats and enjoy the class video.
Lieutenant Jeremy Drake. He didn't introduce himself, but I'll introduce him. Good job, thank you, Lieutenant Drake and staff. All right, now to our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker for this evening is retired Captain Daniel Huffman, Suffolk Fire and Rescue. Captain Huffman, will you please come forward?
Welcome. Can everybody hear me? Yes? No? To the Stone family, condolences. Okay. This Academy class, what are you? No. Come on. Stone strong, correct? Correct? All right. My name's Daniel Huffman. Served 33 and a half years, Suffolk Fire and Rescue. I've been retired almost 8 years, and I miss it. I miss it dearly. I live in Baltimore. Thank you. I love these guys and gals in this fire department. Okay, I love it, the job. And Bubba said that he's going to hug me when I start crying, so get ready, okay? So anyways, I want to first of all give out a shout out to the men and women that are on the burn team that participated with the live burns at the Academy, correct? Correct? Thank you, if you're here. Okay, thank you so much. Chris Thomas for his assistance with PT. Okay, outstanding man. Worked with him for a while. Had him in my company at the Three House. Awesome. I see my buddy Mike Turner back there. I love you, bro. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, this is good. This is Suffolk Fire and Rescue. I love it. Okay? You're coming into a profession that has a lot of honor. A lot of history. PJ, you still living the dream? Say it, tell me. Are you living the dream? Yeah. Wow. I love him. I love him to death. Okay? Honor, tradition. Okay? We get along. You're not. I take that back. Battalion Chief Knight really said a lot about with what I'm going to be talking about. So, and you've heard this through the course of your training. Okay? I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse here. But I'm going to give you some information, some history, and I want you to pay attention. This goes for everybody. Audience, I'm going to be basically addressing the academy, but this goes for everybody. Okay? It's called taking ownership. This is what I'm going to be talking about. What time is it?
1856, yeah.
Taking ownership. Okay? When you come into this job, and when I say job, I say that in a positive way, because I never considered being a firefighter from the city of Suffolk ever a job. I enjoyed coming to work. I enjoyed the people I worked with. I took pride in it. We didn't always get along in the firehouse. We had our differences, but we were grown adults. We worked them out. Okay? This isn't daycare. This is not daycare. There were some people that I worked with through the course of my career I did not like. They did not like me. That's fine. But when it came to a fire, we looked out for each other. Okay? We looked out for each other. Taking ownership. It's a Sunday morning, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, December 7th, 1941. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. The base is waking up. Sailors are getting ready to go through chow, get that Navy chow. Marines are probably on guard throughout the base. Some are still in their racks, okay? People are waking up, they're going to get ready, go to chow, probably go to chapel. The civilian community is also waking up. At 7:55 a.m. Pacific time, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. You're probably sitting there, what does this got to do with the fire department? It's got a lot. The sole objective of why the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor was they were wanting to take out the Pacific Fleet of the United States Navy. They wanted control of all the islands in the Pacific theater. But they missed 2 aircraft carriers. They were out at sea doing sea trials, training. So at 7:55 a.m. Pacific time, Japanese come in 2 waves, over 400 planes. They're dropping their torpedoes, bombs, machine gun fire from the planes, and total hell is breaking loose. Ships are exploding, fuel depots exploding, and it's just total chaos. This one in particular sailor, he was assigned to the USS West Virginia. He was a cook, 3rd class. He's trying to help with the wounded, the injured, trying to help his fellow shipmates. And he notices a anti-aircraft gun that's not being used. This young sailor, at that time he was probably 20, 21. He jumps into this turret of the anti-aircraft gun and he starts firing. He gets 6 Japanese Zeros, takes them out, blows them out of the sky. He gets wounded. And if you don't believe me about this story, you can fact check it. So they call it today, right? Fact checking. What's so interesting about this story and what happened was that this 21-year-old sailor was African American. Okay. 80 years ago in the United States Navy, there was segregation. The whites, blacks. They did not train the African Americans on using the weapons on board the ship. So you're probably sitting there wondering, well, how did he know how to operate the gun? And this is a big gun, big anti-aircraft gun. He makes 6 kills. You know what he did? In his spare time, he watched his fellow shipmates train on how to use that gun, how to load it, how to unload it, how to get it to fire. Never touched it. He just watched his fellow shipmates. He took control of that situation. Do you get it now? He got wounded. He was awarded the Navy Cross, which is the highest medal for valor that's in the United States Navy. Unfortunately, in 1943, November of 43, his ship, the Lipscomb, if I'm pronouncing that right, was torpedoed by a Japanese submarine. Ship blew up, it sank. Him and along with other shipmates died. He was 23, I believe. You with me? You're going to have these opportunities, not manning an anti-aircraft gun, mind you, but you're going to have opportunities where you may be in a situation you're going to have to step up and take control. Do you understand that? Okay. Now keep in mind, for the last 8 years of my career, Suffolk Fire and Rescue, I did Battalion Chief Ratliff's job. I was in charge of training. My intentions were just 2 years, but I ended up staying longer. But I worked with him. I brought you in my office, didn't I? Yeah. Lieutenant Dale, Rainey Dale, outstanding paramedic. Outstanding paramedic. God, I don't want to miss nobody. Mary Riddick, is she still here? You're behind the curtain. You know, outstanding person. Firefighter medic.
Come here, please. Let's go next to Danny.
Help me. Come out here.
You know, outstanding. You know, she takes care of herself. What are you baking a cake back there? What are you doing?
Yes, actually, I am. We got through.
All right. Anyways, these are dedicated individuals. Now I'm going to fast forward to 1991. 1991. Does the name, I'm going to ask you a question, so let me know if you know it or not. Does Patty Barr, Kevin Shea, Lieutenant Patty Brown ring a bell? Somebody say something. No, yes, maybe, no. Correct? All right. May of 1991, FDNY. They get a high-rise building fire, 12 stories. They got heavy fire at the very top. Well, it wasn't actually the very top floor, but it was on the number 12 floor, and I'll explain that in a minute. Rescue 1, FDNY. Rescue 1 pulls up. The chief officer's out in the street. He's got command. He looks at Lieutenant Patty Brown and his crew. I think it was 4 of them, 5 on that crew that day. I got 2 individuals up there, 2 men up there in the windows. Go get them. That was their basic order. I got 2 men up in the windows. They're getting ready to jump. Go get them. They make a beeline up to the top of the building. Okay? 12 flights of steps. Now these 2 men are on the ledge. They're going to jump because a human is not going to withstand burning to death. And it was obvious with 9/11. They get up on the roof. I'm trying to make a long story short. They get up on the roof, and they're looking for an anchor point. They don't have nowhere to tie off this roof. But what's up there is a penthouse that is not the same square footage as the rest of the building. So it was actually 13 stories. So the fire's underneath them. Patty Barr, who was assigned to truck 45 that day, that's a ladder company, everybody. Y'all should know that. He makes a rescue harness out of the rope. Did y'all make rescue harnesses out of rope in the academy? Sure you did. Okay, you make the ropes, leg, around the waist, chest. Patty Barr's a big guy. He was like 200 some pounds, but he was healthy big. They don't have no anchor point up there on that roof, so you got 3 of them that put the rope around them, they get down, they lay on top of the guy that's got the rope around them. Patty Barr goes over the parapet, over the ledge. Okay, he's going down with the rope. He's getting positioned to pick one of the individuals out of the window. He's not even ready. One of the individuals is all excited, he's panicking, and he jumps out. Patty Barr grabs him, wraps his legs around the gentleman's behind, and he's got him, and he's telling him, calm down, I got you. So now they've impacted this rope, big time. You got probably 400 pounds on the end of that rope. And you're about 145 feet up. 12-story building, do the math, about 145 feet up. They lower him down to the next window down below. They bring him in. Patty Barr in his FDNY New Yorker way, he turns around and waves at the 70,000 people down in Broadway, because this building was on Broadway, okay? He did good, everybody's clapping, yay. Now it's Kevin Shea's turn. Kevin Shea, he's lighter, probably 180 pounds maybe. They send the rope back up. Now keep in mind, the rope's impacted big time. The rope is even frayed, okay? Slips into the harness, he goes down, picks the other guy up, because at this time, I mean, you got the fire blowing over the head. It's walking the ceiling. And this was a recording studio. So you had, in this big room, it's where you play music and record and do whatever, they had individual cubicles where the musicians could go in and record and do what they want to do. He gets him, they lower him down, he's made another rescue. This was all filmed, by the way. News team was down. They caught it, everything online. You can Google it, you can pull it up, and you can watch it. Okay? No sooner than Kevin Shea gets this person in, saved him, a Mayday call went out for a firefighter got lost in the building. The firefighter came off it was a captain. Matter of fact, the captain comes off his hose line, got lost, he saw in it, called a Mayday. Ball game changes, they find him, everything's good. The building's still standing today on Broadway, okay? You get where I'm going with this? Now we're at 2001, September 11th, 2001. Battalion Chief Pfeiffer, Joseph Pfeiffer. Battalion 1, Lower Manhattan. Engine 7, Ladder 1's down in the street doing what we call a smell and bell call. Odor of gas coming up from the street. They hear the roar of a plane coming overhead, which is, you should not be hearing that in Manhattan. They look up, the jetliner's taking a beeline to the North Tower. They see it penetrate the building, massive explosion. Chief Joseph Pfeiffer jumps into action. Him and his aide respond to the North Tower. Engine 7, Ladder 1 respond in. He immediately gets there, he runs into the North Tower, into the lobby. He sets up the command post. He even takes a magic marker and draws big number 1 on the console that was in the lobby. Takes command, bringing the companies that are needed to come in. Now, at this time, I do not believe they realized this was a terror attack. But again, this incident was filmed live because a French filmmaker was doing a documentary for FDNY when this happened. So they've got it. You may have already seen it. It's amazing. Companies are coming in. Engine 33 comes in, and the commanding officer is. I'm all right.
No.
I'm all right. The commanding officer is Lieutenant Kevin Pfeiffer, Battalion Chief Pfeiffer's brother. They come into the lobby to get the orders. They briefly look at each other. Lieutenant Pfeiffer turns with his crew and makes the track upstairs. That was the last time Chief Pfeiffer saw his brother. They never found his body. Okay, took control of the situation. That's what we do. During the height of the event at 9/11, prior to the towers coming down, the orders were given for the firefighters to vacate the towers. Well, once you get over 50 floors, you're at a point of no return. You understand that? FDNY, just like me standing up here, Chief Ratliff, and any of these gentlemen, these chief officers here, and any of these firefighters who I have personally worked with, are not going to leave anybody. FDNY did not leave those stricken civilians that were still in the tower. +2,000 people died, perished that day. But I can guarantee you that between the FDNY, the NYPD, who lost 78 of their officers, the Port Authority lost. There were so many, countless numbers of civilian people were saved that day because of some heroic actions. And that's what we do. We're not here to be heroes. We're here to protect lives and property. That's what we do. That's what you sign. You know your first line of bravery? You know what that was? Do y'all talk? I want you to stand up, say that.
Signing up.
Correct. The first sign of showing any type of guts and bravery is when you applied to come work for the fire department in the city of Suffolk. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, now we're back home. We're in Virginia, okay? Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's a lovely town. Busy, a lot of activity going on. It's Good Friday, which was April the 9th, 2012. Our very own Chief Baraki, he was a division chief of the City of Virginia Beach Fire Department at the time. He was in the Bird Neck Road area. He was on duty. A Navy FA-18 fighter jet has mechanical. Now, let me back up. They're out doing their maneuvers just like we always see the planes flying, training. This particular day, the plane had a malfunction. The plane was going down. They had no control of it. The pilots had to eject. They ejected safely. I think they did get banged up a bit. Plane crashes into the Mayview Pews. Thank you. Apartment complex. I know where it's at. It's on Bird Neck Road. Okay. Massive explosion. Navy fighter jets crashed into an apartment. He responds because he's like right there. He takes control. Okay? He sets up command, directs the companies coming in to do what they need to do. Now keep in mind, this ends up being a multi-agency incident. You got local, state, and federal agencies doing this incident. So I'm sure they, without a doubt, they established some unified command. They got it, the problem, the situation under control. No deaths. Nobody died. That's why they call it the miracle of Good Friday, or the Good Friday miracle. Right here. He did that. He took control of his responsibilities and did what he had to do. Is Chief Taylor in the house? Anybody seen him? Because I'm getting ready to close this out because I know everybody's anxious. What time is it? 3:30. 3:30. Outstanding. Our very own, and we're fortunate to have this chief here. He's been here 5 years. Don't get up.
Thank you. How about my eval time?
That's it. You know, outstanding chief. Outstanding, smart. He's a published author. And he's articles, well, he wrote his own books. He's published in Fire Engineering magazine, correct? Outstanding. And he's young. This is a young man here. And he's been here 5 years. Right?
Yes, 4 years and 2 months.
What?
Yes.
Whatever. Okay, outstanding. But our own very own Chief Taylor, who's retired, I was hoping he was going to be here tonight. Served with him throughout the whole. When I came in, he was a driver operator. That was a long time ago. Then he made lieutenant, captain, battalion chief, deputy chief. When Chief Outlaw, and if Chief Outlaw and Tracy's watching, hello, God bless you. When Chief Outlaw retired, Chief Taylor stepped up to be the interim fire chief. And he did that until Chief Scott was hired. Chief Scott's hired, he comes in. And I don't remember exactly when Taylor retired, but it wasn't long after that. Do you remember that, Chuck? When Chief Taylor retired, after Chief Scott. Okay. Anyways, Chief Taylor retires. And then Chief Scott, he served, I think, 5 years, and then he retired. Then the city asked Chief Taylor, would you step up to the plate again and be the fire chief for a little while? And he did. He stepped up to the plate, he took responsibility, he ran the fire department until this young man here was hired. Okay? That's taking control, that's taking responsibility. Doing what needs to be done. I can't say enough for Captain Ratliff for what he's done. Battalion Chief Ratliff for what he's done. He's doing it. All these guys up here are doing it. They love to do it. I love to do it. I wish I could still do it. I know I can. I'll jump on a rig right now. I'm proud of y'all. I really am. I love seeing the young people coming in, taking on this profession. But always remember you have that responsibility to the department, to our community, and to each other. To your family. Your family is so important. They stuck with y'all a year for your boot camp training. They went through a lot. I applaud y'all. When I was on the rig or in my car, when I came off the rig, I was in the staff car, and I'd be on the radio. I would end my radio transmissions with 10-4K. K. That K at the end of the 10-4 is like a period at the end of a sentence. FDNY was famous for doing their radio traffic. They say truck 75, 10-4K. And I'm going to close it out right here, right now, because y'all are anxious. Okay? I congratulate you. I wish you nothing but the best. I will be coming by the fire stations, hopefully, to see y'all. I haven't really had a chance to talk to any of y'all. I want y'all to succeed, but it's up to you. 10-4K.
Good.
Thank you, Captain Huffman. Now we ask Suffolk Fire and Rescue's Chief Michael Baraki, Lieutenant Jeremy Drake, Lieutenant Duran Coltrane to come forward for the presentation of certificates and awards. Jalen Boone. Ethan Burgess. Christopher Butt. Cameron Cortez. Parker Dolman. Murphy. Gus Edens. Andrew Everson. Nicholas Fuga. Ronald Gallo. Dominic Janito. Daniel Gibson. Christopher Heater. Stevenson Heretic. Jesse Hernandez. Byron House. Benjamin Hubert. Dallas Jones. Noah Knowles. Antonio Lamb. Chadwick Lyle. Abigail McGrath. Robert Pappas. Jessica Pimentel, Christopher Ramirez, Matthew Sayer, Timmy Sugamelli, Joe Torres, Ross Walters, Christopher West, Joshua Wortherly,
Okay. There's a tradition during the Fire Academy graduation that we give a few special awards. These awards are given to the recruits that have excelled during the Fire Academy. First award we're going to give tonight is the Academic Excellence Award. Both groups each went through fire school, each went through EMS school, and they all took slightly different tests and quizzes. So we decided we're going to give 2 awards tonight. Academic Excellence Award for Alpha with an overall average of 95%, Christopher Heater.
Turn around.
The award for Bravo with an average of 96.1, you know who it is, Abigail McGrath.
All right. Good evening. I'm Lieutenant Cole Train with Suffolk Fire and Rescue. I had the opportunity to contribute to this class, and I'm very proud of it. Next, we'll be doing the physical fitness, the physical training, most improved, and the best overall fitness awards. All right, so as you know, you gotta back up there, get kind of loud. So as you know, this is a very demanding job. We started off with about 40 recruits came to us from all types of situations, military, high school. They come together, and we have the responsibility of training them physically. So we have to start from groundwork. So we started 12 months ago on the apron at the Fire Academy down in Portsmouth. I'm gonna tell you, we've come a long way. Come a long way with some. First day we started stretching, and I heard, there's a lot of noise. And we started working on breathing, work your body, let your body work, train your body from day one. And I gotta say, it's been a big improvement all around. We had some that start off at the top and some not as high, but from my standpoint, I think all of them are outstanding physical wise. So, for the most improved PFT, Abigail McGrath. So outstanding work, McGrath, outstanding. Y'all should see those biceps, I'm telling you, ripped. All right, now for overall PFT, the best overall, outstanding, and I can pretty much say for this person, from day one, he came in very strong and just got stronger. He's a great person all around, and I am rooting for him, and that person would be Byron House. Supposed to be a little faster than that overall. Okay. All right, so the next award would be the most improved overall, and this is academically, physically, and just overall, just most improved. So the most improved overall award is the recruit that has shown the most improvement since the start of the academy. This recruit has overcome physical and personal odds. This recruit learned a lot about himself and what he is capable of. We have watched him grow physically, mentally, and on both aspects become very strong. He has shown commitment to improving himself and his academy. This most improved award goes to Ross Walters.
Congratulations. Okay, we have one final award. It's the Benjamin Franklin Award. Benjamin Franklin Award is given to the recruit that goes above and beyond what's required of him or her. The one that displays informal leadership, firemanship, and commitment to the success of the overall group. The one who's forward-thinking, pushes their class in the right direction. The one who truly lives up to the values of fire service of honor, courage, integrity, respect, duty, character, and commitment. Benjamin Franklin Award for Class 42 goes to Dominic Janito.
Thank you to our training staff. Recruits, please come forward and face the audience. The building just is wide enough. Now we ask Randy Carter, Clerk of the Circuit Court of the City of Suffolk, to come forward for the oath of office.
Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia. That I will faithfully and impartially. Discharge all the duties. Incumbent upon me as. A firefighter. For the City of Suffolk Department of Fire and Rescue. According to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations all.
Now for the badge pinning, we ask Deputy Chief James Dickens of Suffolk Fire and Rescue to lead badge pinning ceremony.
Thank you, Chief Knight. Good evening, everyone. The badge pinning ceremony signifies the successful completion of the Recruit Firefighter Training Academy and honors the recruit for his or her hard work and determination in completing the academy. However, the badge itself is not a symbol of graduation. It is the symbol of a public safety professional who has sworn to protect and serve others. It is also a reminder to the firefighter of our obligations to those we serve, to our profession, and to each other in maintaining the highest ideals of the fire service. Battalion Chief Ratliff, please come forward.
Squad 1, remain standing. Squad 2, who goes first? Squad 1, open ranks.
Will the badge pinners for Squad 1 please come forward and stand facing your recruit? Badge pinners, please pin your recruit. Will the badge pinners for Squad 2 please come forward and stand facing your recruit? Badge pinners, please pin your recruit. Thank you, Chief Ratliff. A round of applause for Class 42, please. This concludes the badge pinning ceremony. Class 42, it is my pleasure to now refer to you not as recruits, but as firefighters. Congratulations. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Chief Dickens. And now, Fire Chief Michael Baraki will provide his closing remarks.
Thank you, Chief Knight. I appreciate the passage around for the closing remarks. And with any closing remarks, is I have to say thank you. So first of all, thank you to Suffolk Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. John Gordon, the staff here at Kings Fork High School, the principal, Derek Bryant, the staff upstairs in there. If you can see up there, we have Chris Phillips from Suffolk Public Schools, audiovisual specialist, and certainly our City of Suffolk Media and Community Relations Department. I have Tim here. I have Val up there. Hi, Val. Hi, Tim. Andy, hey, Andy. Andy's up there in the middle. And Jennifer right here. This is live streamed across the globe right now and certainly across the country. And if it wasn't for them, this would not be done. So I have a lot more to say, but I'm not going to say it. So thank you so much. Wonderful evening and good night.
Thank you, Chief Baraki. Now Josh Baker will give the benediction.
All right. Congratulations, guys. One last time, if we could just bow our heads. I'll say, gracious Lord, be with us as we gather to plan for our future. Help us to see the safety issues before we encounter them. Keep us in tune with our community so they feel confident in our ability to serve. Be with our families as we rush out the door so they know that you are with us and you will return us safe. Lord, we thank you for the commitments that were made here today and to this department and community. Help us support these new firefighters on the execution of duty as we depart from this place, Lord. Grant us all safe travel homes until we meet to answer the next alarm. And as we depart, we ask, God bless us and keep us in your grace and protection. May he be near us to defend us and above us to bless us. We ask that you continue to keep us where we can be of service to you and to others. May we find strength in your strength, being ever mindful of our need for you and each other. We ask your blessing, care, and protection for all of our firefighters now and forever. In your holy name we pray. Amen.